Hey guys, welcome back to RKGarage. Don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a comment. In this episode we're going to be working on the drift ute. So I've got a few things I need to do. I need to install this switch panel here, mainly just because the thermos and fuel pump aren't hooked up yet, so I can do them to a switch. And then the main ignition and start button's all wank factor. It's not needed because it all works off the key, but since I'm doing that, I might as well. As you can see here, thermo isn't hooked up to anything, and as I was saying in the last video, I was just bridging out the fuel pump relay. But what I'll do is I'll just run a wire straight from that switch all the way down to where the fuel pump wire is over here, or I'll run it straight behind and into the tank area. So I can just do that by a switch. For starters, I'm going to internally wire the back of the switches. So from where they get all the power, everything will be fed from there. And all I've got to do is just do the output. So I'll wire this off camera and then we'll come back to where it's done and I'll show you guys it, because not many people like watching wiring. If you do want to see properly wiring everything, I will be wiring the ECU in to this car along with a lot of other things, so I'm going to go full in depth on that. But for now, I'm just going to get this done. Alright, so we're all set up, pre-wired, everything here. Hopefully you guys can see all that. So ideally what we're doing is just deleting the ignition barrel. I could just tap into the wires so that they all work as normal, which I might actually do that instead, so I can still plug in and still use the key if need be. Not as fun though, I'll probably just delete it. But anyway, so a good way to find out where everything is, you just pull it out. So from memory, the red wire powers everything. Stick that in there. I know that the purple wire is a starter motor. I just need to find out if it's pink or brown, which is accessories or on. So if I do pink seems to be everything on, brown is nothing, and if I tap this on the starter, we should hear it turn like that. So I know that's that. So I need to wire red to get my power, to pink being all accessories on. So now I've got those wires, I know which ones I need to tap into. I'm going to disconnect the battery because I'm going to be fucking around with all this shit. I'm going to tidy all these wires up as well, and we'll get all this wired in, hooked in. I do want to cut all this out as well, but it ends up staying, So anyway, I'm going to do that, and I'm just going to leave this rolling and we'll just let it time lapse as it goes through. So now that I've got the rest of the wiring kind of neat on there and whatnot, just need to tidy up all this, which I'll do now. I'll pause the camera, you guys don't see that, and then we'll start to run the wires across and whatnot. So we'll get back to that. Alright, so the panel sits nicely in there. I'll end up grinding this out. I'll mark it with a texture and I'll grind it out. But for now anyway, just got one wire done that I realised I wasn't filming, so we'll just continue on. so do not remember. Cool. So we got power there. That shuts it off. Dash is all lit up. Now if I press this, it should. So if I have this off, nothing should happen. If I have that on, it should click the starter. Perfect. So hands here on the keys. Click it off. Nothing. That one off. Starter still goes off, so there's no fuel pump. ECU isn't on or whatever. So that's all working, that's all mint. Now I've just got to send a wire from here to the fuel pump system. I'm just going to use the factory shit up there for now, I can't be bothered. When I put the link ECU in, I'll do it all fancily through to the back. Yeah, so for now I'm going to turn the camera off, tidy all this up, get that all tucked away, and then we'll come back. Alright, since you guys are last viewing ship, we managed to get the fuse box and relay box back out. Had all these little bridging wires across here because it was always blowing a fuse or something. So for now, managed to get the fuses back in. I also got the headlights working as they should off the switch. Now I've just got to run a trigger wire, which is just going to trigger the engine fan and fuel pump factory relay. So use all that wiring. Got the found the plug for the actual thermo fan here, so that's all plugged in. I don't have to do any wiring for that. So yeah, I just got to get this into the cabin, hook that up to a switch, and then connect it to the right wire on these, and we should be good to go. So I'm going to feed that in, time lapse it, me pushing it through so you guys don't have to watch that boring shit, and yeah, we'll just keep cracking on with it. Alright, so engine bay is all back together. The fuse box, lid and everything is there, not that it's sitting very nice, but that's all in. Trigger wires in, got the tank to go back here for the overflow. Wires all run in, batteries on. There's a close up of the engine bay in case you guys didn't see it too well in the last video. And I'll set this light up here inside so we can see, and jump inside so you can see all that, and we'll test it all. Alright, so back inside, everything's all mounted and relatively neat, as you guys can see there. Forgot to tuck up the wire, but it's all down there. So basically you flick that on, that then turns it as if the keys to the on position. This one here should be fans and fuel pump, which we can hear the fans on. Make sure she's in neutral, and then she starts once it wants to. And then just shut her off, flicker like that, and everything's off. So that's that working there, which is awesome. So I'm going to go park this back outside and put the V back in here, and then tomorrow we're going to continue working on it. But this is where I'm going to leave this video off. Wasn't exactly very interesting, but got a switch panel wired in, headlights work and everything off the main switch, as you guys can see up there. High beams work. It's got fuses again, it's still using relays, so nothing's dodgy. Yeah, it's just another part of the build done, and then we might even look into where I'm going to mount the hydro. So once this shit comes off, get rid of this bit here. I'll probably mount it somewhere there, even there, whatnot. Just somewhere out of the way. Could even mount it there even, I don't know, but you know, that's a future me problem. Anyway, I'll see you guys on the next one. Don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a comment, and hopefully I'll have some good content for you guys coming soon. This is just all boring shit angle, shit filming, but what can you do? Anyway, drift build part 4, I believe, sorted.